Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Dad Labs podcast.
Back in that studio.
It's your boy Dodger Tommy, and
Padre Tommy.
that shirt still in second place, huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear you.
We got our boy Steve in the house. Say what's up?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, we appreciate you coming to the Dad Labs, bro.
Yes.
And
Thanks for having me.
tell us a little bit about your dadhood.
Yeah, well,
You know, so we'll get to that, man. And first of all, so Steve was in the military.
Yes.
And I want to ask, what is your official title? Well, was?
it was Staff Sergeant.
So Staff Sergeant Steve or
Yes.
Steve Lara.
That's
I don't know if
correct.
you want to put your whole name out there.
It's fine. Ain't nobody looking for me.
Nobody's looking for me. So we got Staff Sergeant in the house here, and what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of explore a little bit of, you know, you and how it was being in the military and being a parent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So let's get it started here. Let's first of all, thank you for your service
Yes.
and all that you did.
Here at Dad Labs.
Yeah, we appreciate you
Yes, we
and
do.
everyone who's is a part of any type of forces or service like
Yep.
military. We thank you guys 100% for your service.
And it hits home here in San Diego because we've got
There's so much of us
Miramar
here.
and Pendleton, and we got so much down here. Naval
Yeah.
Base. There's a lot representing.
I feel safe. I feel good, man. I'm like, yeah, bring some more.
There's nothing better than being down in San Diego and watching those ships either come in or go out. It's and then we got the Midway down there too,
Yeah.
which is like you could see that now all the time.
Well, and then just driving on the 15 here in San Diego and seeing the jets.
Oh, that's
Wow,
my
from there,
that
boy.
my kids they underplay it, and I'm driving down the 15 south, and I'm like, guys, look at the jet right there. I mean, you don't see that all the
No.
time.
So over right here at the house, the studio, we're in a military flight path
Flight
here.
path,
Yeah, and so every time we're getting to our whole house starts shaking. I'm like, oh, there's an earthquake. And, no, there's some huge chopper just foof, foof, foof. I'm
Yep.
like, sounds like freedom. So thank you a lot, man. We are super grateful for your sacrifice that you did for our country. So let's start off a little bit about just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up and stuff like that.
and yeah, maybe how you got in the service and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in the great state of Texas.
wow.
Graduated high school, wanted to play football, didn't get a scholarship, didn't have enough money to go to college, so I was like, what am I going to do?
Yep.
So you were in Texas.
Yes.
Which
I was in
part?
Texas. San Angelo, Texas.
San Angelo.
That's
Where's
a
that close by?
big football town, huh?
It's a big football town. It's not close to anything, really. It's
No, it's far.
kind of to the middle of itself. It's like 3 hours away from anything.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
3 hours north of San Antonio, 3 hours south of Dallas.
Okay.
So
So you grew up there.
yeah,
Didn't have money for college. No. Did you have an idea what you wanted to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to play professional football, like every kid dream in Texas. But
Is it because you were short?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That had a lot to do with it.
you could have been a good running back, bro.
I was a running back.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
man.
But back then they wanted the big, fast, strong.
Yeah,
You know,
bigger,
just
faster,
The Derrick
stronger.
Henrys.
Yeah. And then my buddy who was running back, he was like 6'2", running a 4.2. So there
Oh
was
my
no way I
gosh.
was gonna keep
No,
up with that.
you're done. You're like,
So I figured I'd join the Marine Corps, get the GI Bill, get bigger, faster, stronger, and
Mhm.
try to walk on to Texas Tech because that was where I wanted to go.
Oh, good old
nice.
Texas Tech. He's a Patrick Mahomes fan.
I am,
Mhm.
definitely am.
Mhm.
But then that didn't work out. I joined the Marine Corps and then met a girl, and we got a baby. We had a baby.
Nice. So basically, your decision to join the military is because you're like, yeah, all right, I can't play football, so I need to get my schooling, and you were going to use the military to get your schooling done.
Correct.
Okay, cool. What year did you join?
1993.
Dude, 93.
Yeah.
I was still in.
I was 13.
I was in middle school.
Dang.
How old were you?
You guys make me feel old.
18?
18.
Dang.
18 when you listed. Now, what made you choose the branch that you chose? Or they was just a recruiter that
I wanted to be the best of the best, and they had the best uniforms and best reputation. So
Mhm.
I always
Hear
like
that?
to I always
Dad
like
labs.
to challenge myself. So I figured if I can make it through that, I can make it through anything.
Oh
So
wow,
is
that's a good motto. If I can make it through that, I can make it through anything.
I mean, military boot camp. I mean,
Right.
you know, tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about boot camp, bro.
For me, boot camp was the physicality of it all wasn't
Mhm.
really that much because
you were doing the
2 days of
football
football and stuff like that.
yeah.
Hunting
Yep.
as a kid in the country. So dealing with the guns was easy. It was more of the mental aspect. It was the first time I'd ever been away from home, away from my family for that long ever. Second time I'd been in California. Not to
Oh, so you
enjoy it.
got shipped out to California?
Yeah, I
Okay.
went to MCRD
Okay.
here in San Diego.
Yep.
Yeah, so just being away and being homesick and
Yeah.
but then developing this camaraderie with a bunch of guys and
You were in the
you
same situation? Yep.
exactly, and that helped. But yeah, the physicality of it, the physical fitness, the shooting, the going out in the field and camping, all that stuff I was used to already.
Yeah.
And plus, my dad was in the National Guard. He was kind of really strict and militant, so I was used to that. Just the mind games they played with us though. That at first I was like, man, I don't know why I'm doing this. But yeah, once that was done, I was like, all right, that part's over.
It's like you got past the hard part.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now you're in the military. Now, do you get automatically deployed to California, or do you have to you have time at home,
Or we should say, did you meet your girl here?
or do you meet, or would you have a girl back in
Texas?
I was dating a girl back in Texas, but then I was gone for so long. I went back after boot camp. We hung out a little bit. Then I got shipped out here to Camp Hilton to go to SOI, or MCT. It's a combat training that we do.
Yep.
That's another month and a half.
Okay.
And then after that, you get your MOS, is what your job title is going to be. And mine was a supply warehouseman, 3051.
Okay.
And then I had to go to Albany, Georgia, right after that.
Oh dang.
And do logistics training.
Okay. Yep.
For supply school. And then I met a girl out there.
See, this is all coming together.
We got cool. So the girl back home got dropped. And then the girl wanted me to stay there in Albany, but I got orders to come back out here to California. Camp Pendleton. So we broke it off and I ended up in California. And 19 years old, I was sneaking into a club up in Anaheim.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
We always do.
It was called the Cowboy Boogie.
Oh, the Cowboy Boogie.
Country bar. It was all cool. Met her there. She thought I was 21, and I was not. She was 26. When she found out, she decided to stay with me.
Oh, wow.
And then one time we decided to have unprotected sex. Just the first time we ever did that.
Yeah.
She got pregnant.
It's amazing. God works in weird ways.
He really does.
Yes.
He really does.
Yes. So, okay. So now you're in the middle of pregnancies coming. Now, are you still here the whole time, or do you ever get deployed during the pregnancy or
during the birth or
during
after
the birth or anything like that?
How did that go down?
During the first one, well, it didn't go down very well. She was not real happy. I had asked her to marry me. I was still here in Camp Hilton. And then she's like, "No, I don't want to get married to you." She's like, "You're way too young. I'm way older than you. I'm not ready to settle down yet."
But we're having babies.
And I was like, "Okay." But then my great grandmother had passed away, and who was a big part of my life. So I drove on emergency leave to go to her funeral. I didn't tell my pregnant girlfriend.
Yep.
And she was furious with me and quit talking to me. This was early on in her pregnancy too, and then I found out that one of my best friends went out to the club and they were hanging out and they kind of hooked up a little bit because she was pissed at me. And we broke up, and I was like, okay. And then she told me that she had an abortion because she didn't want nothing to do with me. And I was devastated.
Yeah.
And then I found out.
So you got your you said your grandma passed away?
My great grandma.
And now you've got all this load on your shoulders.
100%.
Oh man,
Plus
that's brutal.
And well, you're working. You're in the military.
You're in the military too. Yeah.
So I was a mess. I was getting in trouble in the military at that time too. Like I was spending all my money on booze and wasn't getting fresh haircuts on a Monday morning.
Oh yeah,
So
that's not good.
yeah, I had to get my shit together.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
No, you're good.
But yeah, it was weird. And then I found out around 8.5 months into her pregnancy, she got a hold of me and sent a letter apologizing that she did keep the baby.
Oh,
and,
thank God.
Yes.
and I was like, okay, that's awesome. But I asked her, she didn't even tell me when the baby was going to be born. Her sister called me and told me, and I was going to drive up.
Yeah.
Actually, I started driving up, and I got a call on my big old cell phone that I
Yeah.
had back then.
Your sidekick?
Yeah, it was like, the thing was huge. She calls me on the cell phone, and she's like, "Hey, are you coming up here for the?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Don't do it. She's not going to let you in the room. She doesn't want to see you."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" I was like halfway there already.
Right.
Up to LA. So that was devastating.
But you went anyways?
No, I turned around because she was one of those. When we were dating, I had showed up one time without, calling her and letting her know,
like, hey,
unannounced surprise, and she made me go home.
Some girls don't like that stuff, bro.
Yeah,
Some girls don't like that stuff.
So that sits in our back of our head, and so for all those moms and for all those ladies out there, that sits in the back of our head.
Right,
for
right.
sure, for sure.
Right. Now, was this a baby girl or baby boy?
Baby girl, my first daughter.
Okay. Nice.
She was her name is Samantha Renee Rodriguez.
Hi, Samantha. Nice. And she still lives in California?
Yeah, she lives up in, as far as I know, this is in San Gabriel. We don't really have that much communication.
Okay.
I used to get her like every other weekend for, up until she was like 6. But then around then I had gotten a bad infection in my knee. I messed up my knee, and then I got like staph infection.
Oh no, that's not
and
good.
it was messing with me, and I had to be at home a lot on a
IV
intravenous
drip.
IV drip. Yeah. And I lost a lot of weight because I just started working out to bodybuild back then, so I was like really big and buff, and then that happened, and I shrank down to like from 185 to like 130.
Dang.
I looked like skin and bones, and she came to visit, and she was scared to see me. So then she didn't want to come see me anymore.
Oh, when the kids get scared, they're like, "Oh, it's different."
And at that time, I had just gotten remarried. I had just gotten married to a lady who had 2 kids, and I raised those boys up like they were my own. They were 6 and 8 when we got married.
Oh, so you were a bonus dad.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Bonus dad, military, and then a father of a daughter that you would see on and off.
Yeah, and then her uncles and aunts didn't like me at all. According to them, they thought that I abandoned her mom. She never told them that I offered to marry her, and she never told them that I wanted to be there for for the baby. And then she never told them that she told me she had an abortion.
Right.
So they think I'm this horrible guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got one side.
Yeah, and that's all she's heard. And being deployed throughout the years when I was trying to make contact with my daughter again, and then we'd get there, and then I'd have to go and get deployed. She was like, "Oh, you're always abandoning me."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Geez, I wish I could make you understand this. It's
Yeah.
not really my fault."
Yeah, that's hard,
choice.
especially being in the military too, right?
Yeah.
Because through that whole time period, you're in and out, right? You're deployed. You're constantly having to be,
Even if you're not deployed, you're going to field trading that you have to do. Go to 29 Palms. You got to go.
Yep.
Because you're out there a couple days too, right?
You're out there for like weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're out. Yeah, because it's not like you get shipped away. You busy.
Yeah.
So and you're dedicated to them. So it's like you're having to do all this time there.
Right.
So because that's why we always say thank you for your service, because you're constantly learning, training,
constantly working,
and you got to be able to do that stuff. If you do get deployed, it's got to be second nature.
100%.
So did you get deployed?
Later on in my career, I got deployed when I got married. The first time we went to Kuwait.
What year?
90.
You're grilling the po, dude.
95.
It's all a blur. It's all over. It was hot.
Ago.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how long ago was it?
It was in the 90s.
Okay.
that wasn't too bad. We showed up basically at the time when we showed up. We were like the second wave, and the Kuwaitis were already like
Yeah.
surrendering because they.
And you're in the logistics too, right?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
like moving
Just
stuff in and out, and
yeah,
you're having to coordinate all that.
giving everyone their MREs, their equipment. Anytime something breaks, a part on a vehicle or whatever,
Yep, you got to order.
we got to order it, bring it in, ammo, gun, you name it. Anything.
So now, so you're in Kuwait or you're deployed. Let's just say you're deployed and you're married, and you're looking after the 2 boys.
Yeah.
How did that go?
That was tough because I again, it was another time of me being away from my family. This was the first time that was my family, and then being away from my daughter, knowing that we didn't have that much contact. It wasn't that bad because we weren't there. We were there maybe 4 weeks, maybe less than that.
Okay.
But we weren't able to have contact.
Yeah, because the communications, the comms aren't there. You can only write, and you get care packages if you're there for a long time.
Exactly.
It's almost like you were in jail.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have so much respect for you guys because it's like and sometimes you can't even say where you're going, and because sometimes you don't even have your orders. You just have, hey, show up here, and you guys are gonna at this time. You guys are gonna be shipped off. Yeah, so that's got to be hard. How did your lady take that?
She did not take it very well.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear it's really tough on the family. Kids don't necessarily understand. The wives, I think, have it the worst. Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And that's the one thing. As you're out there doing it, you're so focused on getting home and waiting for that person. It kind of changes them as well because they're gonna do mom and dad while you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then I come home and I want to expect it to be the way it was, and it's kind of not. And then.
Because there's a transition period.
Exactly.
Discuss the transition period, because for those dads out there that are interested, or the young dads that are like just married, how did that transition period like? Because I think most new dads or newlywed dads, I should say, that have a baby, what advice would you give a dad that's recently married or has a baby? Brand new baby, right? That transition period, like, because we may get into it or not, but if you don't see combat, that's one thing, but when you come back, right, you have to detox. You kind of have to like readjust, right? How is that? Like, what advice would you give somebody that's in them?
I would say, one, appreciate what you left behind, and when you show up, just be grateful and thankful to be there with them again.
Yeah.
2, take it slow. What I mean by take it slow is I know you want everything to be the same it is, but take it day by day and just see how everyone's living their lives now since you've been gone. There's going to be some subtle changes that you're not used to, and when you see them, don't lash out or say anything negative like why the hell are you doing that now. Ask questions. Talk. Communication is huge. I wasn't that well at the time. I'm like, why the hell is everyone doing this and that? I'm like, what?
What happened to this? What happened to
you weren't here to be, you weren't around to help us do this, so this is how we do our things, like the way that they clean the house, or the way that they did sports, how they were getting there, things like that.
Or why'd you move that? That used to be over there. Why
exactly.
is it
Why
over
is
here
it
now?
over here now? Yeah. And then
what happened to my chair?
And then the my wife's ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, who the boys are from, good guy. He and I actually get along really well. Like, he would come over and spend the night with the boys because he was in town shooting. He was an NFL photographer, so he was in town shooting a game. So he'd spend the night at our house and stuff like that. When you hear that, I'm like, I trust my lady. He's a cool dude. But in the back of your mind, you're like, maybe something happened here.
Yeah. Mine's playing tricks on you, man.
Yeah. So getting through that, you can't let that stuff get to you. You have to have trust and faith in the woman that you loved, and then the kids. You just gotta take baby steps, man. Just focus on being happy and appreciating those the kids and your lady. That's the best thing I can say.
Oh,
It's not. There's no cookie cutter, pre-planned,
way of
way of everyone
different.
doing it.
Okay.
That was my first time. There was no combat, so
Yeah, okay.
I can, when you come back from having a combat deal,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you did leave again, though. You went.
Yeah.
You had to deploy again. Is this when your son
So
came?
when I got back, we hooked up, and yeah, my son was born at that time, and it was quite a while. It wasn't until 9/11 is when I got deployed again.
Okay.
And I volunteered for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at SOI in a warehouse, just giving gear to students at the time. And one of my buddies who was in the 1st Marine Division, he called me. He's like, "Hey, we're going. I need a warehouseman who knows this stuff. And can set up a field warehouse and all that stuff." And I was really good with my rifle too. So, like, I got expert every single year. I was 14 and a half years. I almost had the range high in like 3 different bases.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice, dude.
I was good. And they would mess with me. They'd mess with my stuff. the guys, the coaches, they'd come by and they'd turn my rear elevation or my windage.
Yeah.
And then everyone's down shooting, and here I am adjusting my stuff back. And then
they yell at you for not shooting.
But they would laugh because I'd stay calm and I would still kill it. Yeah. They're like, man,
the hell, crazy. Laura? What the hell? You can't throw them off.
Yeah. And we got to the 500-yard range, and then they'd be like, "All right, let's see how good you are." Shoulder, and I'd shoot and hit it in the shoulder, come back. Mm-hmm. So they really wanted me to go to this combat, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
And 9/11 had just hit.
I wanted to
protect the country.
I wanted to do everything that I could do to protect the country. Being from Texas,
don't mess
being
with Texas,
a patriot. And I wanted, that's I was like, here, I'm not going to college anymore. This is what I'm doing.
This is what I do.
This is what we were trained to do. So let's go do it.
So how long were you gone for 9/11?
Oh man, I was gone for 7 months.
Oh, this is a long one,
That's
brother.
a long deployment.
Yeah.
How was it there? Well, where'd you go? Sorry.
Went to Iraq.
Okay.
It's called
Abu Dhabi?
No, that was one of the cities. Jebel Ali was the port that we went into. Oh, what was the name of the camp? Al-Assad, Camp Al-Assad.
Okay.
Al-Assad.
It was nuts. It's just a bunch of sand, and then every now and then you see some buildings, and you're like, what the heck? If you ever go down the 56?
Yeah.
That's the stretch that were all those little buildings, high rises that are brown.
Right.
That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, wow.
But with sand instead of
trees and
bushes.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And then everyone's driving around like Mercedes, and I'm like, these people really do have some money.
Yeah.
I mean, their houses they lived in are crap. They're just high-rise buildings, and they don't have the best accommodations, but they all have nice cars, but they're all dirty as hell because of all the sand.
So how did you handle being like a father? Now you got a son.
Yeah.
And so now and
a daughter.
We love our daughters, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But now you have a son, because when you have a son, you're thinking, all right, that's
my
passing
boy.
my name, right?
Yeah.
My legacy on and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so now you're like deployed and thinking about this kid, and like now you got to get back. So you get back. How is the return then? Because now you got a young man at home that you have to look out for.
Yeah, it was very different because I had actually had some combat experience in this one. I mean, literally, we set foot down. We're walking up, and a mortar round lands like close to us, and boom!
Is that a missile? It's a missile.
It's a mortar. It's like a giant round bullet.
Okay.
You drop in a tube, and then it hits and shoots up and comes down.
Okay.
Almost like a grenade, but not.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And the Iraqis would always go around the camp and just like set up these mortar rounds on a bag of ice. So when the bag of ice melted, it would just trigger. So they weren't really aiming; they were just trying to hit whatever they could hit.
Yeah.
And that was the welcome to Iraq to me. We were walking up, and boom, and everyone is like losing their minds. And they have these bunkers built by Connex boxes dug into the ground.
Yeah.
All around the camp.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy, we were like, dude, grab that side. I'll grab this side. We're just grabbing our guys and chasing them, tossing them inside these bunkers, and making sure we had a head count. And I was like, dang, heart's racing. I was like, holy cow, this
What's
is
actually here?
This isn't a game. This is
real. Then we do night convoys, and so since I'm in logistics, I always had to go with convoys.
Yeah.
And we created a new detachment called the security detachment that I was a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I was the Mako at the time, so anytime someone went down with the helo, we had to go set a perimeter and let the doctors or the doctors
Medics or whatever.
triage everyone. That was crazy seeing all kinds of
Combat,
people
wounded,
hurt,
wounded and burnt, shot, broken legs, you name it. And then also trying to fend off
whoever
the Iraqis or when we were on convoy. They would always set IEDs to try to blow up the convoys. We'd have to go detonate them and then set a perimeter. We had firefights in the dark. Like they're shooting, we're literally shooting in the dark. All we're doing is seeing flashes from tracer rounds going down range,
and you're trying to anticipate where it's coming from.
And so we were just like letting it go, trying to make sure that we got what we need to get done and then get back on the road. So yeah, that was crazy. And at the time, you learn to kind of like shut your humanity off a little bit.
Yeah, you just become what you're taught.
Yeah. And you get in this mindset. Like we were watching on our downtime, I was watching like House of 1,000 Corpses, and I was laughing at parts that normal people wouldn't laugh at because you've seen so much stuff over there. Wow. And then when I get home, I'm again expecting my family to be the way that it was. I can't wait to get there. Can't wait to get there. I get there.
And this is war too. You're like, this is even more than what I went out to before.
And so and I'm not thinking at the time that they were so worried about whether I was going to even make it home, and what I'm going to be like when I get home, because they're not done. They hear stories. They live in Southern California. Some of their buddies' dads are in the military as well. So I get home, and first thing I do is I don't tell her that I'm coming home because I got to come home a little earlier than everybody else to set up our warehouse again before everything shows up.
Oh, okay.
And then so I had a buddy who was in a different unit pick me up, drive me home, and I was pulling up in this truck, and I see my son riding his bike in the cul-de-sac, and I was like, "Oh man, it's perfect." And so I get out. And he doesn't recognize the vehicle, and he sees me, and I'm like wearing my camis and I have my bag and my pack with me. He's like, "Dad?"
Oh.
And he just starts running. It was amazing.
I was like one of those.
So
it's like what's all over, like
awesome.
On those videos. Did
I cry every time?
Yeah, exactly like that.
And
I was like, I was almost bawled right there. And then I'm like, all right, let's go say hi to Mom. Mom's reaction was very different.
She's like, here, I've been making a list for you.
She was like, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to see. I was like, surprise. She's like, you could have at least told me.
She wanted to get everything ready.
She wanted to have like a whole like spread. I get it.
I'm like,
she's thinking in her head, I'm like, oh my God, all his parents, his family's get mad at me. I didn't tell him he was coming.
And then finally, I'm like, I was like, hello, good to see you too. She's like, I'm sorry. Gave each other a bit of a hug. And then like the first 3 days or so, week, it's pretty chill. I'm just enjoying everything, having a good time. But then, I try having nightmares.
Yeah, because now you're starting to desensitize. Yeah, so now you're back into civilian life.
Yeah.
And then the nightmares and dreams are all starting to come back because you can't shake it, right?
Yeah. At the time, I was one of these super tough guys who I don't talk about my stuff to anyone.
I was gonna say, how did you?
I didn't even realize I had PTSD at the time.
And how did you tell your wife? Did you like? How
I
did
tell
that
her
go
anything.
down?
I told her all I did was stay in the rear with the gear, and as far as she knew, because I didn't want to worry her more than what she already was. I didn't want to tell her about any of the things that I had gotten to do. And I say I had gotten to do because not everyone in my MOS got to do some of the stuff that I got to do.
Yeah.
Because you're on security detail, and most of them are hanging back.
Right.
And now you're the one clearing the way to get the docs in and all this stuff. So you're like seeing heavy combat.
Everything. Yeah.
And then how long before like did that? Like you're probably, are you waking up with night sweats? Kind of like
sometimes, sometimes that. I'm very like hyper aware of all of my surroundings all the time. no matter where we went, I made sure to stand with my back away from the door so I could see anyone coming in and out.
Yep.
Like at a restaurant all the time. I still do it to this day.
I do that shit.
But always looking around, like wanting to know.
We got you, Dad.
Everyone
around
me.
Just like that.
I make an exit strategy. Every building we go in with my family, I'm like, how are we getting out of here?
Yeah. But then and then the boys were a little older now, playing sports, football, which I love. My son was not, as much as I wanted him to be a football player, it wasn't his thing.
Yeah.
He played 1 year just to appease me, and he was like, Dad, I'm just
not into it.
I was like, that's all right. And he's an amazing athlete. Amazing athlete. This
Dude,
kid
he
was.
wrestles now.
Yeah.
Well,
he
that's
wrestled.
good.
He was
Like wrestle, like WWE.
Yeah, he did WWE wrestling for a little while, that type of stuff.
Nice.
And they wanted to send it. Rowan from WWE showed up to his indies spot one time, and he told me, he's like, man, you got some skills. He's like, if you're really interested, I could put a word in. We could send you to the performance center. And right, my son is always one who so good, so naturally gifted, so talented. Once he gets something, he gets kind of bored with it. He's like, He's like, that guy told me that if I wanted to, I could do that. I was like, you know how much money you can make doing that?
He's like, cool, I got there. I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, oh, okay. Football. He wrestled in high school for a little while, and he was a freshman. He was beating up on seniors, and then he was like, if these are the best, he's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And growing up, like I would always roll with him like as a kid, wrestling with him because I became a mixed martial art instructor as well.
Okay.
I got my secondary MOS in the Marine Corps, so I was supply warehouseman and a mixed martial art instructor.
Okay.
Nice.
So I would roll with him and like put him in arm bars and
get out.
chokes and things like that. He didn't even realize I was training him as he was being trained.
Right.
And so he learned to use his body really well, especially with wrestling, playing sports and dirt biking. That kid does he used to do Spartan races.
Oh, wow.
And then, so getting home and hanging out with them and taking them to the sports, I'm like, yeah. But then I was getting really disappointed that he wasn't playing football. And then I didn't learn this till later on. He was like, yeah, that kind of affected me, Dad. He's like, I felt like I was, like I was a disappointment to you. I let you down. And I was like, I never thought I showed or put that on you. I was like, I was bummed that you didn't want to play. I was like, but I was always really proud of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't always feel that way. He's like, I really felt distant from you.
Yeah.
And that hurt me. And I was like, damn, because I thought I was a way better dad than my dad.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'm really not. And once I start doing some self-realization, I was like, yeah, I was a dick. I was a jerk, and I was so short-tempered. That was another thing. Like, it didn't take much to set me off. And I would just go off on nothing.
Yeah. The little things, because and I always say, right, well, first of all, my wife always says, kids are humbling.
Yes.
Because, like you said, you want them to do something, you see the potential in something, and then they always do something else.
Right.
That's a must, Dad. That's a must. And then it's the frustration, right?
Right.
Because internally, we're having to talk to ourselves and come to the realization, like, what we think and what we show are two, it's also a signal, and our kids are always soaking it in, right? And we don't realize on a regular basis, it's like we're trying to live our life, not necessarily knowing that, in this day and age, you got TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and you have all these things that are, you see one persona of a person, but what we don't realize is our kids are also that video camera, right? They're looking at us, constantly seeing our day-to-day, not that happy, cheery, TikTok face.
Right.
They're always seeing behind the scenes. So they see the parent like, hey, we're here, and then you turn it off and you're like, oh, I look terrible in that picture. That's what they see, right?
Exactly.
So that's very humbling to realize that. And we always, again, that's why we started this podcast, is to remind dads, we always have to be, one step above. It's like playing chess, right? Okay, how am I going to look to my boy, to my girl, to everybody else? It's tough.
how I talk, my tone,
the tone,
Exactly.
you know,
yes,
the time, the delivery, everything is so
Yeah.
It
important.
really
yeah,
is.
who you tell and talk in
So
front
that
of,
had
and
to been
yeah,
hard to come in from a combat zone to
yeah,
come back to a soft little cushion where your kids' emotions are, your wife's emotions are. You're just like, I gotta fit into that. I mean, that's too stressful. I can only imagine, man. I want to know a little bit about your relationship with your dad.
Well, I was daddy's boy.
Okay.
I loved my dad. My dad was a horrible alcoholic. He was really mean, abusive. But he was my dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
I knew nothing else.
Yeah.
Uh, we there was a few times he took things out on me that my little brother did,
Mm-hmm.
but it was my fault because I'm the older one.
Okay.
He was really hard on me, but I loved him to death. He did teach me. He taught me everything that I'm trying to instill in my kids. You know, being respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, having morals. Yeah, things like that. Just he wanted me to be better than him in every way, and
Yeah.
that's what I want for my kids. That's what every dad does.
Every dad
Yep,
wants
yep.
We want our kids to be better than us in every aspect. And he drove me. Like, he never came to any of my football games. Never did. He was always at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was very supportive, but she couldn't make it to the games because she was working 2 jobs. 'Cause
Yeah.
my parents finally got divorced. I don't live with my mom, but I always wanted to be with my dad.
Yeah.
Always. No matter how bad he treated my mom, no matter how bad he's been to me, I always wanted
It's dad.
dad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we did have a little falling out for a little while. We got in a fist fight. Well, I got in a fist fight. He just slapped me one time, took me off my feet, and landed on my bed. That's when I learned what old man strength was.
I tell my son that now. I'm like, you think you're strong, but you'll never beat up your dad.
Man. And then he kicked me out of the house. So I left, and I went to live with a friend. I didn't want to live with my mom and my stepdad. Me and my stepdad didn't get along very well, even though he was an amazing guy. I learned that later on in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my dad were good, but they had that falling out, and I graduated. Then I went to boot camp. I didn't really talk to him. I wrote a letter asking him if he would come to my boot camp graduation, because my dad never did anything. My mom and my stepdad were coming out, and I was like, can you just please do this for me? It's one thing. I never ask you anything. And he did. He showed up. I was really surprised. And he actually got along with my mom and my stepdad really well just during that little time.
Yeah.
For the graduation, we went to go eat at Pizza Hut, and then they went about their business and went home. So that was a little bit of a closure. We got closer again when I come back.
Yeah.
By this time, I'd already started doing bodybuilding in the Marine Corps. I was bigger, faster, stronger, like I wanted to be.
Yep.
I'd come home, and my dad was like, "You could probably whoop my ass easy now." I was like, "Oh yeah, not even."
He's you're like, come on, Dad, let's go at it now.
not even a question.
He's
like,
like,
I was already a Marine martial art instructor. I had all these extra muscle, and I was in my prime. I was like,
and so Tommy,
23.
you don't know this, but this is some of the qualities of why I hired this guy to be a bouncer when we first met, because he had all these qualities, the military background.
Yeah.
You know, when he laid it out in the interview, I was like, "Shh, you're hired."
Yeah.
But the relationship with my dad now is amazing. He's a lot older now. He's just turned 73.
Oh, praise God.
Yeah. I don't know how he made it this long with as much as he drinks, but he's made it. And every time he goes in, they say you're healthy as a teenage boy.
He'll say,
"What?
It's because of the alcohol."
Yeah, pretty much.
If I
Killed
didn't
all the bad
drink,
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
It
Back
coated and it protected my organs.
Right. But now he's starting to feel he fell down, broke his leg.
Oh, poor guy.
Then he fell again and broke his hip
Oh wow.
while his leg was still broken. So
Oh.
he was getting. You could tell he's been really depressed lately. But now we still have like a really good relationship. So he'll confide in me and let me know, and I can kind of lecture him. Be like, "Dad, maybe you shouldn't be, getting so hammered, or don't leave, don't go out to a bar, stay home.
Yeah.
Know your surroundings instead of falling off of curves."
Yeah. It's hard. Old habits are hard to break, but as we get older, I think that's one thing that it'd be nice to have an older grandpa maybe on the Dad Labs podcast,
right? A grandpa.
that one of those to get
Let's go. Give me a message. Let's make it happen.
Right? So
Now let's flash forward here because there's amazing stuff that goes on in Steve's life after the military, and a lot of it I got to kind of witness as well too. He has an amazing love story with his lady now. The way they met, and then now he has a beautiful daughter as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that all happened. We met. Well, as I worked with him, and I met the lady of my life now, Alina Goff, who was a bartender at the bar there. And I remember I had just gotten divorced. I was still in Marine Corps at the time, but I remember I had the biggest crush on her, and I think it was Tommy or someone. First time I saw her,
told everybody.
I was like, I'm gonna marry that girl someday. And we dated for a little while. She broke my heart, broke up with me like at least 3 times, but I would always take her back. I'm like, this is the girl.
And they always just got back together.
Got back together, and then right before this time we got back together, the last time I thought she was perfect because I already had 2 kids, 2 stepsons.
Yeah,
I was done with kids, and she was getting in her late 30s, and she was like, I kind of want to have a kid, and I was like, I tell you, I'm done.
It's a wrap here, kid.
I was like, I'm like 30, 38 at the time, 39. I'm like, no. My kids are out the door already. I'm like, she's like, what I really do, I was like, all right, this is huge. And she asked me if I would, and I was like, I need you to really think about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get you pregnant in a heartbeat. I'm Mexican. It ain't going to be no problem.
You know what they say? Once you go Mexican, you're pregnant.
You're pregnant. So she thought it through, and so we went for it. And within 2 days, she was pregnant.
Told you, bro. It happens fast.
Actually, I mean a week, but yeah, within 2 days, it was a done deal.
Now tell us a little bit about your beautiful baby girl.
My baby girl was born. Me and Alina were broken up at the time. She did not want me to be in the hospital. I learned my lesson. I showed up anyway. She didn't let me in the room. I sat out in the waiting room for 12, 16 hours.
But you were there.
I was there. I spent the night there.
Yep.
Finally, I'd seen all of our friends come in to see the baby. I've seen her sister come in to see the baby.
Yeah.
I never got to at the time. I was still out there, and her sister would come and talk to me. Everyone would be like, "Dude, you're awesome for doing this."
Right.
She finally let me in the next morning, and I got to hold my daughter for the first time, and it was so special. All the animosity, anger that she and I had towards each other just melted away.
Washed away right in that moment. And
I was like, all right, now we have to get along because we got a co-parent. We got to raise this precious kid. And so I was in a very different place then. I was still dealing with my PTSD. I wasn't really acknowledging it.
Yeah.
But as my daughter kept getting older, my son was born with only one ear. And now my daughter, we found out she's born blind in one eye, and could only see a little bit out of the other eye. So I'm like, man, God's really testing me with my children, and my career and my life. And so I realized, I was like, I really got to start doing better and focusing on my, how I approached the kids. And, I wasn't the greatest with my oldest daughter, and my son, I did my best, and he's a parent now. And he says, I get some of the stuff now, Dad.
Yeah, they always get it.
And that's why Dad Labs is here.
Yeah. And he didn't talk to me for 2 years, kind of like me and my dad had a falling out. He came back in my life because he got married, and she wanted us, and it's been the best thing ever. Our communication is amazing. We bounce things off of each other. Anytime he's got an issue, he just wants to vent, he'll call me. And I always worried how he felt about how my relationship was with my daughter, because now social media is a huge thing. So I'm always clipping. I'm always taking photos and stuff. And it was me and her all the time on everything we're doing. And I'm like, man, I wonder if he feels like I'm treating her. Yeah. And I talked to him about that. He's like, you know what, Dad, I never even thought that. He's like, you're in a different place than where you were back then. You're making better money than what you were doing back then. You're able to do these things. He's like, I'm happy that you're doing that for her.
Yeah.
He's like, that's rad. So I always, like, when I had her, it was just me and her. She went everywhere with me. We did everything. She was daddy's little girl. And then I feel like I was kind of making up for the relationship I didn't have with my oldest daughter.
Yep.
I was like, I got a chance to do this right. So I started going to counseling, started seeing someone finally. I finally got my disability from the Marine Corps finally came through. I finally got it. I was broken. My knees were all messed up.
Yeah.
I finally got a new knee. I'm able to go and run around and play with my daughter now. And she's 11 now. But back then that was fun. I could only do so much, but everyone always told me I was hard on her. And I am hard on my kids. Hard in the fact that I'm strict.
Yeah.
You know, I have rules. You're gonna abide by my rules. You're gonna and the rules I make aren't crazy. You know, I want you to do some chores. I want you to clean your room. I want you to make your bed. You know.
And do they ever talk back? Oh, Dad, why?
Yes.
And then how do you follow through?
Well, that starts early. Yeah, that starts early. Like she was rolling her eyes at me at 1. I was like, oh, that's not learned trait. That's just in their DNA.
Yeah.
So how I approached that, it's when she was younger, I didn't approach. I was just like a dictator. I was like, no, you're gonna do it. You don't talk back to me. Oh, I'm gonna spank you.
Go.
Yeah.
Now that me and her mom have gotten back together, we've been together 4 years now. So when my daughter was 6,
Woohoo!
and we plan on getting married and everything. It's all going.
What? Wait. There's plans?
There's plans.
Oh,
we don't have a date yet. I have to.
This is an exclusive right here on Dad Labs. We have plans.
We have picked out the ring. I just have to pay for it.
Picked out the ring and I better be invited, bro.
Yeah, you'll be there. You'll be there.
Tommy, I'll sneak you inside.
So us living together, being together, like she puts me in check a lot. Like I'm in a place now, going to therapy, dealing with my PTSD. I got diagnosed with bipolar depression as well. So finally got that under control, taking my meds. You know, life has gotten so much better for me.
Amen.
Work is going well. So the times that I am hard on my daughter, she'll let me go, and then she'll pull me aside. She's like, "Hey, you really didn't have to do it that way or this way." And I was like, "Dang!" I didn't realize I did it like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Think about it. You know how she is." She's like, "She's afraid of you." I was like, "Well, she should be.
Yeah.
You should be afraid of your dad." She's like, "No, she's afraid to even tell you when something is bothering her at school or." I was like, "She's like, don't you want her to be someone that she can come to no matter what?" I was like, man, yeah. So
I love how Our Lady's kind of just put us back on the road of like where we're supposed to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And she's really good at it. You know, there's times where I'll start something because she's training me, getting me in my mind to always focus on it. Where I'll start going off my daughter and I'll catch myself in the process, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, hold on. I was like, you know what? Sorry. let me restart.
Start that. Rewind. Let's go again.
And then but then so it's gotten better because there are times when my daughter will talk to me and tell me things that are bothering her or stuff that's going on at school with bullies or all my kids are so big hearted. They care about everyone around them. Like she wants everyone to just get along and be happy and be friends. And she just started middle school, and unfortunately, she's about to learn the harsh truth.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
She's a big sweetheart. My son's the same way. He loves taking care of people. Anytime he saw someone that was getting bullied, he would always go stick up for them. They just really love and
they want everybody to get along.
And just like you, bro.
Yeah,
just like you.
Yeah.
Steve's all into the lovey-dovey stuff. I'll tell you that.
I am.
Dude, I love your family, bro. I haven't met your oldest daughter, but I met your son, your grandkid, kids.
Yes.
Now.
I have a new grandson now. Yeah.
And Kyla. Sorry. Kyla, I love her so much, man. She's such a great kid. And Alina's the best. She's awesome. Before we get into rapid questions here, I wanted to ask you this: if you can go give advice to a younger you, go back into time and be like, hey, now that you know, what kind of advice would you give your younger self before deployment And even during.
Seek help.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing I could ever tell myself back then is it's not a sign of weakness. It's not it's going to benefit you in the long run. Talk to somebody. Confide in your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, whoever it may be. Confide in them, and if you have to go see a therapist, go see a therapist. It really, really did help me, and I don't go to church all the time. My mom always digs me for that, but I've always had my faith in God, and I truly believe if it wasn't for the grace of God and my faith, prayers from my family, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened over there in Iraq, some of my friends didn't come back. That still haunts me, but I did, and I feel that it's just because of my faith. And if I don't have anyone to talk to, I always have him.
Amen to that.
And there's a reason.
Yep.
You got to come back for a reason. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right.
So thanks for sharing, man. What we're doing here at
Yes.
Dad Labs, we like to do some rapid questions. You just all about fun.
Whatever's- yeah,
Took a
okay.
little bit of the military aspect into it and kind of threw it into these questions.
All right.
So let's hit this up with some rapid questions. Let's go. All right. Have you ever used military strategy to win a hide and seek game with your kids?
100%. 100%.
Or let's take that another level. You ever the little Nerf guns, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would dot my son in the forehead every time.
What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever fixed with WD-40 or a zip tie?
Ooh, man.
He's like, the tire in my car.
I think it was actually a bed
Uh-huh.
that I broke bouncing on it with my kids.
Zip tied it?
I did like a million zip ties in
Oh,
the corner
that's
until we got a new one.
Why is it leaning a little to the left here?
Right?
It has a little give. Just pretend it's a waterbed.
All right, next one. Your teen asked for a ride to the mall during fourth quarter of the big game. Say yes or pretend you didn't hear him.
I'll say after this.
Yeah.
After this.
Wait, what? Touchdown. All right, let's go. All right, last one. The family road trip playlist gets stuck on repeat. Endure it or accidentally unplug and turn it off.
I'll endure it. I love music.
Endure it?
Yeah.
So
Gotta have something in the
Gotta have
background.
something.
Yeah. Well, Tommy just went on a huge car ride and they were playing
10
freaking
days.
Oh man.
what is it? The same song over and over again.
Oh,
Was it,
oh gosh! I had a clip of that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. He sent me a clip of it.
They just
It's
kept
like
singing the same.
E-I-E-I-O.
Oh my!
Oh,
Over
yeah.
and over and over
They get
again.
stuck on one thing.
Right,
It's just
right.
oh,
Oh,
it
man.
never fails.
My
so.
goodness.
Well, bro, once again, we thank you again for coming into the Dad Labs and sharing a
Yes.
little bit about your life, being in the military,
Yes.
being a father, a bonus dad, dude. Like you are like the ultimate dad, kind of just wrapped up in a big ball, and we appreciate you and
Thanks
Yes.
for having me.
appreciate your service, man. I love you.
appreciate it. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
yes, thank you.
And once
Appreciate
again, you guys can catch us on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
TikTok.
Hey, don't be afraid to reach out. So DM us, whatever you feel like. Go
If
for
you're
it.
a dad and you're here close to us in San Diego and you
Reach
got a
out.
cool job and you want to share it with everybody and let them know I'm still the best dad and I got this job, leave us a message, man. You could be the next
Yes.
guest here on Dad Labs.
Or if you have a really good story, we want to hear it.
Yeah, let's go. Leave a
Let's
message,
go.
man.
Yes.
You'll see us on X here soon. And then I think we have a web page in the works as
Yes,
well.
we do. And
So-
it works.
Be on the lookout, man. Dad Labs Podcast. We're out, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
In the kitchen we stir, in the garage we race. Dad jokes never die, but they always bring a smile, teaching you to